Hello there! I'm Scotty. You're not. Welcome back to the Twisted Childhood Universe, also known as the TCU, which I just realized. Was the abbreviation for it. So, yeah. So if you're keeping up with this Twisted Childhood Universe, we started with Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. It was crap. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2 came out. Better, but still crap. And then we have Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare. It's okay, still crap. So now we have Bambi, The Reckoning. Yes, Bambi, everybody's least favorite Disney movie. Don't lie to me. I know it's true. Bambi's okay. It's not one I'll go back to. I want a Disney animated movie. It's not gonna be Bambi, maybe like Aladdin, Lion King, Goofy movie maybe, Mouse Detective, Little Mermaid. Basically everything but the Rescuers and Bambi. Not a fan of the first Rescuers movie. But I like the second one a lot. Anyway. I had to pop my ears. So this is now a reimagining of Bambi, where he is a mutated giant deer. Yeah. An adult deer. But yeah, so and the plot revolves around a mother and son who are on this trip to a family get together for Thanksgiving without the father because he's busy on doing business. Business! And they come across the eponymous deer who seeks to kill their cab driver and stalk them back to their family home. And now it takes the family and them to try to stop the deer and some twists and turns along the way. Yeah. So we start with what all of these start with, an animated opening, right? But this one was confusing because the voiceover dialogue does not match what we're seeing at all. The voiceover dialogue is telling us about the dangers that are out there and bad things that can happen, while we just see the story of Bambi. He's walking through the woods with his mom. Mom gets shot, but he lives on. Eventually finds a woman, a wife, has a child, and then the wife is plowed over by a truck, which contains, we find out later, contains toxic waste. And then the driver of the truck knocks Bambi out with the shovel. Insert Tim Allen quote here. You hit me with a shovel. And then he wakes up to find his phone is gone. He. It's technically my third time trying to film this review. First time I kept coughing through it. And it's not fair. You guys have to watch a review with a bunch of coughing. So if I feel something coming on, I'm going to pause it before I start the coughing fit. Because I'm still not over this shit. It's been almost 2 weeks since I caught this shit. And I'm still not over the cough. Bullshit. Anyway. The second time I hadn't started I forgot to pick up those and bring back over here. So see, after this animated opening, we then find our main characters, Xana, which is not a name in any way, shape, or form from any country, and her son, Benji. Not Benji Martin, brother of Ricky Martin, or Benji the dog, just Benji. Honestly, in 2025, or 2026, excuse me, in this day and age, who names their kid Benji? That's like 1940s name. Benji. Yeah. I take a taxi. They're going to her husband's family. But he's not going to be there. He's not going to be there because he's got business to do. And I do like when the kid's talking to her. He's like, "Are you gonna get deported?" She's like, "What?" Like, deported. You and Dad aren't gonna be together anymore. He means he means divorced. No. No, your dad's just busy. Seems like Dad's busy a lot. We find out why. So they get in the cab. So this, more so than anything, and I know it's British, but this got to me, okay, as it often does with these things, but this got to me more so, because they get in this cab, and so, it's one of those, it's like a van, basically, they get on one side, or it's like a bus of sorts. I had to put my nose, excuse me. So they get in, and so he's driving on this side, because the British drive on this side, right? Which would be they drive on the right, the driver's side, which would be our passenger side. And then the passenger side would be our driver's side. And then they get in from what would be our driver's side, not the passenger side as you would on a normal bus or something. And it's weird. And I would like to know, any of you out there who are British, why do you drive on the other side of the road? We say wrong, but that's also wrong because it's right for you guys. It's wrong for us. Why are you driving on the other side of the road? Why is it like that? Why is everything backwards to us? Backwards, not to you, but why is everything reversed, opposited? What do you want to say? Yeah. And so as they're driving, they're having a problem. Bambi just stands in the road, causes it to crash, and stomps the shit out of the driver. And so, yeah, now they just run off. And at this point, I'm like, this is not bad. And then we cut to the house where the family is at. And we see this old lady, her name is Mary, which means there's two characters named Mary in this franchise for some reason. And she's just standing outside, and she goes, "Bambi." And I'm like, nope, doesn't make any sense. Nope. You cannot have Psychic Lady in a Bambi movie. It doesn't make any sense. And it would if they used what was that? Effort in any of the storytelling in this. The storytelling in this is not bad. But this is the one thing they don't come back around and explain how she has a connection to Bambi. They don't explain where she gets it from, why she's having psychic visions, why she's drawing these. She just is connected. Because it felt like we needed a connection to Bambi. For some reason. Even though we have a connection later with the dad, but eventually Xana, not a name, and Benji make it to the house, where we find the other members of the family. Simon's brother. They're up here, right? No, where is it? Simon's brothers, Andrew and Joshua. Andrew's wife, Harriet, who is black, even though it doesn't really... It just feels like because it's her and one other guy, the black people. It's like we need to have at least two black people in this movie. They don't need to be a married couple. Just have her be the stepmom, which I guess makes sense. But it's just like she kind of does stick out. With the rest of the family is white as hell, and she's just I don't know. But yeah. And Andrew's teenage son Harrison, and Simon is not there, and of course there's Mary. I do like Harrison because he's funny, but he's an asshole. He's there playing a video game. And he gets Harriet yells for him. Harrison, Walt, come here, please. Why? Because I asked you to. Okay, and he just sits there talking to Benji, and then a couple minutes later, Harrison, what? I asked you to come here. Yeah, and then that's when, like, Bambi shows up. Walls mean nothing to Bambi, apparently. He just barrels right through the walls. Say nothing of plaster and steel and wood and all that. Nope. Just barrels right through it. Yep. There are also 3 hunters outside. Michael, Tyler, and Eddie, who are hired by Wilbaxer to hunt down Bambi and other creatures that we find there as well. When Joshua leaves the house, he's accidentally shot by Tyler, killed. Yeah, this is before that other. So the family is forced to flee in a caravan, and they're not able. This is one of the things, they're not able to start the car. In horror movies, oh, it's a horror movie, can't start the car. But it's one of those where it's convenient. You can't start the car until someone else gets killed. Okay, now we can go. You can't start the car until certain plot point elements have been met. Now you can start it. And they drive home. That is until they get stopped by a tree, a log in the road. Oh, there's a log, we can't go any further. I'm like, what was the point of them starting the vehicle? It just happens 3 different times. It stops them from going. First it won't start, then it does. Then there's a log. Then they get the log out of the way, which ends up killing Andrew. He gets dragged because Benji freaks out and drives the vehicle, and accidentally drags him behind to his death. And then they run out of gas. I'm like, so what's the point of having this vehicle then? Harrison runs away, and this is where we get a cameo from Thumper. Can't use that name though. So instead we have a rabbit that he kind of shoos away. A bunch of other ones show up. He backs up and falls into a bear trap and then gets mauled to death by them. Yes. So yeah, like I said, the caravan runs out of gas, and they find Michael, not that Michael, who takes one of the hunters, who takes them to a den where they meet Simon. This Simon doesn't like to do drawings, but and his co-worker Joe. This is where it's revealed that Simon is the one who killed Bambi's wife and dumped the toxic waste into the river, causing the local fauna, that is the plants, to mutate. So it's implied the other animals are mutating because they're eating the animals, eating the plant life. But we know Bambi mutated from drinking out of the river, so yeah. During this conversation, Benji finds a garage, or as they would say there, garage, which he finds contains the phone. You know, Bambi's child. And Xana finds out that the hunters are not just there to hunt down the mutated animals. They want to capture Bambi and kill him. Like how many lives are lost along the way. Tyler goes to take a piss and being decapitated by Bambi. Is he the one that falls in the shit? One of them does. Eddie goes to investigate. Bambi rips off his legs and his head. Counterproductive, but sure. Benji frees Bambi's child and runs away. This is where I got to, and I had a coughing fit. Just. Mike. Joe sacrifices herself and shoots a gas canister to kill Bambi. Bambi survives. Benji eventually reunites with his mom and dad, only for Michael to show up and threatening them with gunpoint and demands the baby. Bambi's shot. Bambi drives Michael to the forest before approaching Benji. Simon's like, "Peace out!" and runs to the nearest vehicle, only to be killed by a mutant rabbit inside. Canonically, I will call this one Thumper. They realize that this is Bambi's child, so they return it to him. And just when they think it's going to be over, Michael's still alive and shoots Bambi, killing him. But wait, Scotty said. Isn't he supposed to be in that Poonaverse movie? Yes. Yes, he is. And then Mary, no longer cuckoo, she's got her senses back, I guess, shoots Michael to death. Yeah. And Bambi dies. Well, the fawn lives on. Maybe that's the Bambi Jr. I don't know. And that's where the thing ends here. But there's more. I think there's more. That's not the end of the movie. Like, it dies. The others are safe now. But yeah, I guess it's the end. But the post-credit scene says Bambi will return. So I don't know. Can he just regenerate, I guess? I'm regenerating into the third Bambi. Can he regenerate to the fourth Bambi? Like a jelly baby? Regenerate to the 10th Bambi. Allons-y! How about the 11th Bambi? Geronimo! The 12th Bambi would tell you never ever eat pears. He can regenerate. What would the War Bambi look like? The 13th Bambi would be female. You gotta get the same actor to come back and play the 14th Bambi, though. That means the 15th Bambi would be black. Enough of the Doctor Who jokes. Never. Anyway, I'll give it middle of the road. It's fine. It's it's not the worst one, I would say. So far, I would do Winnie the Pooh, Bud and Honey, the first one, the bottom, the worst. Then I would do Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare next, number 3. Number 2 is this one, Bambi the Reckoning, and then number 1 is still Blood and Honey 2. That one's still the best so far. Yes, and yeah, middle of the road. I'm actually a little bit excited for the Pinocchio one because it has me intrigued. It looks like it could be the best one so far, and you have Robert Englund is Don't Call Me Jiminy Cricket because it's not legal. He's the Cricket. And then you have Richard Brake playing Geppetto. It's be interesting. So that it looks interesting to me. I saw the trailers. It looks interesting. And when does that come out? Oh, we're looking at this. It says 2026. Is there not a release date for this at all? Release date 11th of April 2026 in Brussels. There's no release date for America or United Kingdom. This thing was filmed 2 years ago. A year and a half ago, I should say. First photography took place by November 2024. Filming was originally set in September and October. Michael, darling? Really? Richard Brake is Geppetto. Robert England is the voice of the cricket. This should be interesting. Yeah, what are your thoughts on Bambi the Reckoning? And then how much make sure to like, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching. I've been Scott, and I'll see you in the next one.